Looks like we have a bunch of people in already. Thanks, everyone. Linda, Joan, Momo, Glenn, Steve. Hey, Marcus is there. Debbie, Darren. Nice. Look at that. JC. Bunch of people in already. All right. So this evening, we are going to do stuff a little bit different. Let me square the ends of this up. Sorry, I was trying to work on getting the the Apollos ready, and I didn't realize the time. So I did a little experimenting today, Darren, with the God's sakes, the Apollo. Hey, Palm. Nice. Nice. Okay. With the Apollo, Darren, you're going to know what this is because you've turned one first, Darren and Palm. Everyone else will explain. So, some of you saw that I posted the picture of the mini pen today. Pen is an experiment. The pocket pen, I call it like a pocket watch pen. It's an experiment of ours. I only have two jaws on this chuck. 1, 2. Okay, so the mini pen is an experiment that we did last year. It's a pocket pen. It's a blank from us. And in return, it's under a 1/2 inch. It's just at 0.49, right? So it fits seamless. I wanted to make one of the same size blank that many of you purchased this week. Some of you purchased yesterday in the drop, which I forgot to post the drop 6. I apologize. Anyways, several of you purchased Ebonite, and it's skinny 0.58 by 5 inches. You can adjust the depth at which you drill so you can run an international short or international long. No, I made my own instructions. Darren is correct. Kate's instructions aren't anywhere close to that. But as I was saying with the Ebonite, many of you bought a green or brown, or tan, I should say, tan or green 5-inch stick, which is this. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Darren. Okay. I took that same 5-inch stick, which is 0.58, correct? And I went ahead and drilled it for the cap for an Apollo. I put my insert in for the Apollo. Hey, Ashley. And then, which the cap requires 2.5 inches, which is about what this is. The cap instructions say 2.5. I think this piece is 2.362. So it works, right? So it's not quite 2.5. And then I took the body, which is almost 2.5. Body is 2.610, so the body is just slightly longer than the mini pen. The mini pen body, I think, is 1 inch, and the cap is 2.1. The pocket pen is 2.1 for the cap, 1.645 for the body, so 1 5/8 inches for the body. Not quite 1 5/8 inches, so it makes it really short. And even in my size hand, as you saw today, it still writes, still works good. If you see on the edge of the cap, it'll focus. The resin is super thin, but it has still stayed durable, and I've carried it in my pocket a lot. But it is for a fountain pen. You cannot do this with the Bullseye roller ball, but you can do this with the fountain pen. You can adjust it. So I went ahead and drilled this, glued in the inserts. I don't know about you, Darren, but when I glue in my inserts, I always line my grains up first, and I wax both sides of this so that when I push them together, I don't have any issue. Okay, what I did after that was I went ahead, put a mark, and put a mark. And if you screw this together, this is a triple start. See, it doesn't fit there. Try it again. Go back one click. Let's try 2 clicks. Still not quite right. Let's go back one more click. And there we go. It comes out dead fit. And that's on a piece of 5-inch Ebonite. And you could polish it just as it is and have a decent sized pen. And it would be a fountain pen. And it would work with a nib section, which we can put the nib out of this one. If I've lost anybody, say so. My mind's going a million miles an hour. Sorry if I'm hard to keep up with. Okay. If we put the nib section out of the mini pen in there, and that would be a very beautiful pen just as it is. It would take an international short or international long. Marcus, I'm sure, I apologize, but I'll get to this in a minute. But I wanted to show you that you could make a fountain pen from the Bullseye kit with a piece of 5-inch Ebonite that was in a drop yesterday. All right, who did I lose? I lost Marcus, I lost Steve. Who else did I lose? Darren, did I lose you? Pom, did I lose you? Steve says, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure I lost him. You could polish your Ebonite, or you could honestly leave it like it is and still have a nice pen. It would be a matte finish. Just touch up the ends. But regardless, there's a body for it already. So you can use your 0.58 piece of Ebonite that you claimed yesterday to make a pen 5 inches long. Would be a great checkbook pen, pocket pen, and it would be out of vintage Ebonite and work just as well as anything else. I can make instructions for this to make it work. Now in the world did I lose Steve and Marcus, but I didn't lose Ashley. And she's not a pen maker. Come on, boys. Yeah, so you can buy the Bullseye turning kit, drill it, and make. You were able to follow Darren. I figured so. You're a better maker than I am. So I figured you'd be able to keep up. But you would have 2 pens out of 5/8 Ebonite, and it would work. You wouldn't need a 6-inch. If you do want a 6-inch piece for making a roller ball, I can cut some 6-inch. She's not telling the truth. Yes, she is. She's just agreeing. Nah, she's that smart. Don't cut her short. She's pretty sharp. Darren, what's your thoughts on that already at that size compared to my hand? It's honestly not bad. Okay. I'll catch back up to that later. It'll make more sense. But while it was fresh on my mind and I didn't forget anything. Hey, Aiden. Okay. Now that I've lost everyone. Before we go any further, we were talking about using a flame blank. And I don't have a flame in 6 inches, but I have a flame, well, semi-flame. It's got some other material and other color from last week in 5 or in 6 inches. So I went ahead. Hey Momo, can you put up a link for bullseyeturningsupply.com? And that's where you can find the Artemis and the Apollo kits. This is for an Apollo. You can get the Artemis kit there as well. Steve, I can cut you some 6-inch ebonite. That way you can do a roller ball on that kit, and it would make a sturdy pocket pen. Not everybody wants a fountain pen. Darren, I wonder if the Parker refill versus the Pilot refill would fit in a bullseye and make it short enough that you could use a Parker and use a 5-inch blank instead of a 6-inch. Momo, you're the best. Okay. Anyway, so here is our blank, and there is some transparency. If we would have used this blank for the kit, by the time you turn it, let me spray some alcohol on it so you all can see it and find the cuts in my fingers. Ouch. Got a couple of them today. Ooh, that's a good one there. Okay, so this would have been our blank from last week. It's got copper and navy and some transparency and gold and some Americana like Steve likes on the 1776. I have a feeling Darren's looking to see if it fits or not. But this would be transparent. If by the time we cut and drilled it, you would see the hardware. Okay. Because of it being transparent, as you can see, it would show our hardware, which will be inside. We'd be able to see it, which we don't want to. As many of you know, I recommend and I give directions on how to paint. There is no try. Do or do not. Ah, crap. Now you're going to make me try. I'm trying to think of what kit would have a Parker refill, Darren. What do I have? The one out of the bolt action should fit, right? Or how about an Anvil EDC? That'd be a Parker. I wonder if it fits through the neck. Oh, look at that, Darren. Fits through like a glove. Oh no, she's no try. She is the best. Yes, I can make them in your screwdriver handle size or knife scales, whichever you need. Just reach out. We can hook you up with whatever you're looking for. All right, Darren. So Parker one would fit. We just have to figure out what spring to run and what depth to make. Now we just modified the bullseye kit for something else we want to do. Okay. So that being said, anyways, we would have this blank and it would be transparent. I don't really want to see the inside of this hardware. And a good friend of mine, Brian Frame, who many of you see posted in the group, said that he uses a stuff from a company called Keta, or Keta, however you want to pronounce it. It's called Keta dye. This is available on Amazon. He uses it. We are going to try it as well. We're going to use the black. And the way we're going to use the black is let me see if it's got a, yeah. He says to wear gloves. That's probably not a bad idea. Tom, are you still with us? Y'all are chatting it up and I'm just talking away. Sorry about that. Yeah, Brian says it works well, so we're going to find out. Brian either looks like the hero after today or Brian looks like the jerk after today. We'll see. Most of the time, I'd say he's the hero. He's a pretty good squeeze. He says that he takes this dye, doesn't mix it with anything, puts it on the end of a Q-tip. Let me take this off here. Puts it on the end of a Q-tip and puts it inside the blank. He says 2 coats, does really well, and works well. So we're going to try it. It is, but it goes a long ways. I don't know if you can reach out to them and buy just the black or not, which is I would like to have the black and a white, which would work out best for mostly what I do. He says the dye will do a few hundred pens. Or done a few hundred pens on just the black and still has plenty of it. So all I'm doing is putting the dye on the end here, putting it inside, and just trying to make sure we coat everything evenly. We'll let it dry and then we'll hit it again with another coat. Although it looks good to me. Let me hold it up to this stronger light I have in the shop and see what it looks like. Looks like it'll work. Looks like it'll work just fine. Okay. We have our cap. Now we're going to do our body. Would alcohol ink not work? Maybe. That's a good question. I've never tried it. You could try it. I don't know how well alcohol ink dries, but yeah, it seems very opaque. Yeah, alcohol ink may not be opaque. So we're going to coat. I probably need to get some, especially I'm going to do much of this. You don't have to use it on this kit. If you get any blanks from us, like the flame blanks, and you want them to be opaque, because there is some transparency in the flame, you can put this on the inside of your bodies before gluing in your brass tubes. Brian recommends to dye the inside of this and then to color your brass tubes with a Sharpie before gluing them in. Yeah, Steve, that may be a better alternative, maybe a more cost-effective alternative. But I wanted to put this in before we turn the diamond pin. Yeah, I need to get some longer Q-tips. Some of those long body Q-tips. Come on, Darren, if I can do this so far without spilling it, hopefully you can. Right? You're smarter than I am. I will say this. I got it on the end of the blank here, and it does seem very opaque. Super opaque. You can see where it got on there and where I tried to rub it off. Still super opaque. Well, that's interesting. Let's try that as an experiment, Darren. Let's put it on the end where it's going to seal together. Then, if you also notice, I put a small relief in this so that the hardware doesn't stick out as far when you make the pen. Okay, we'll set that to the side and let it dry. We'll put the lid on this stuff, which it seems like it's going to go a long ways. It comes in blue, brown, red, and yellow. Blue, brown, red, yellow, and black. Obviously, we used black this evening. I would like to see if they had a white. White would be ideal. Takes them from the doctor's office. Ha! Ironically, that's not a bad idea. Hey, I need a couple of those, huh? That's a good idea. Okay, so now let's drill our diamond painting blank. Okay. Hey, Steve, I reached out to Brian for you, and he said he would try to get you some made this weekend. I also mentioned that you could just turn yours down, but he said he would do it. This is what I finished, pardon the moisture inside from using CA glue. We could have done this pin that's a demonstrator, as we saw last week. I have it drilled out so that I can use it to figure out what lengths to make, such as the mini pin and some other things. $9.47. Thank you all so much. Hey, Frank. So this is our demonstrator for figuring out the cap, minimum, that kind of stuff. As you can see, with a 2.5-inch cap, you have a lot of excess material that you could take down all the way, way down. But with the body, there's a lot you can take off as well. So this is a good demonstrator. I always recommend making one of these for yourself. Anytime that you think you're going to start customizing or changing the kit, you could always use this as your demonstrator. Darren, actually, while I'm thinking of it, let's take the Schmidt refill out of this and put in the Parker refill. We probably have to find a custom size blank, custom size spring, or not drill the body as deep. So yeah, you could do that. Just don't drill the body as deep. Use the Schmidt refill or the Parker refill and only drill the body. Two inches deep, 2.25. I'll make a practice run. But you could run a body 2.25 inches deep and use a Parker instead of a Schmidt, and it would allow you to use a 5-inch blank. But that's the reason you have a demonstrator. You can always use it as a practice run to figure out what you need to make something work. If you all need a clear blank for a demonstrator, reach out to us. I have plenty. How come Steve's not in the kitchen? Steve should be in there cooking. All he does is hang out all day. Oh, he's going to get shot. Nope, he already starting down the wrong path saying she should be in the kitchen. You'd think he learned something from the other night. He didn't. He didn't learn anything. Okay. We can take this off. it looks like our insert decided to stay on there. Doesn't want to come off of there. There we go. We don't have anything else to drill this evening. I already have everything else drilled. Okay. Yeah, Steve, you should be in there washing dishes. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, he doesn't do the dishes. He complained too much. It's a vacuum, but it doesn't create a lot because it's not close in a big surface area. So it doesn't get all of it, and it's not going that direction. I've got something else ordered for the live so that it'll get us closer. I just don't like to use one. So we'll see. And my big dust collector is too noisy. So we're trying this thing that Steve recommended. Yes, this blank was in a drop. This blank looks like, hey Braden. Braden, that was an awesome pen you made. Awesome pen. Congratulations on your first one. You should enter the pen makers showcase next month in August. Not quite sure what colors we're going to do for August yet, but you should enter. And try to win. That's usually the goal when people enter, buddy. Good idea. I like your attitude. Good attitude. Good attitude. All right. I wonder if we move this around. So over here, Blink twice if you're with us. Huh. Still can't afford the wax. Come on. It's like 12 bucks, $8. Bought a bad boy mower last year, Palm. Bought the 60-inch cut and love it. The negative rake lasts a lot. I'd say minimum 8 or 10 pins before I have to turn it. Nicole wouldn't let you get a 0 turn, huh? To get some of the wax. Oh, horse is crap. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Boy, if you're allergic to BS, don't be in this group. There's a lot of it surfacing around. Talking about us can't hide money. Steve, the one with the biggest CNC that I've ever seen. Biggest one at the company. I have a CNC, but not like Steve's. His is huge. He's got the biggest one that company makes. The best, the fastest, everything. He's the one over there hiding money. Bill bought himself a new building just to turn in. Ha! Thanks, Gail. Okay. Get some Zona paper out. Oh, I hope I don't have to cut anymore. Looks like I might have just enough for this evening. Get some water here. Fill up our bottle. The blue makes a good water line for this as well, Darren. Yeah, this would work for the lighthouse pin, Steve. That's funny. Hides them in plain sight and then gets mad when he can't find them. That's funny. You did, Steve. Oh, yeah. Good deal, John. If you have any issues, reach out to me. Homer, you think we should show them the expanding containers if we have time this evening? Hey, Ann. Thank you. Hey, Spunky Red. I always say that because the post office can be hard on stuff. The post office can be very hard on stuff. I feel like I'm shipping things to Kuwait. The way I got to box them up to get the post office not to tear them up. And don't dare write fragile on it. You write fragile on anything, I think they think it's Italian for fragile, or fragile is Italian for drop and kick it again. Yeah, no kidding. I feel you. I feel like I get better results at UPS, but their shipping is higher, so I typically try to use the post office. We get the diamond pin turn. We'll work on these. That way you can see the Apollo actually get turned. The other one, I wanted to show you the die, and then I'll get it turned up this week or next week. But I wanted to get it died first, and that way you all could see that process. Do you need to see the drilling process for that, or can you read the instructions and it's self-explanatory? If you want to see a drilling process for it, I can put together a drill video. Darren, do you think a drill video is needed for the Apollo Artemis kit? Or do you think that's self-explanatory? No, there's 34 legs, Palm. 35. Hey, Jenny's with us. Aw, thanks. Thanks, Jenny. Maybe we just make one for good measure. How about I make a start to finish video and post it and not on a live? How's that sound, Darren? When Kate and I talked, that was the only point of contention that she sees, is some people have difficulties with the drilling of the depth. I've got a set of drill bits and a collar, and a dedicated set of drill bits and collars, sorry, for that I just put the collars on and drill to that depth and stop. Really? Well, you'll see how one gets turned this evening. You can use a drill chuck. I recommend you use a collet chuck, but you can use a drill chuck. All you missed was 30 minutes of Steve complaining, Stephanie. Nothing you're not familiar with. I also use the cat bit palm to relief where the insert goes in, the stainless steel insert, so it's just slightly below the surface. I don't like to leave it above the surface. I like it to almost be flush. They're not above your skill set. If you want to try a set, order a set online and the bushings, and I'll teach you how. It's not above your skill set. If you need to for your first one, I can send your blanks already drilled. Maybe. Darren, when I drilled that .58 Ebonite, I figure the cat bit is 29/64. It does not leave much room for anything. And that's why I said it almost makes a perfect pen. You could polish it up and have a pen already made, which is what we'll do. Just so that it shows anyone that gets one of the pieces of 5-inch Ebonite, if you want to make a pocket pen or smaller pen, works great. Hi, Anita. Darren, I even volunteered to drill and cut his blank for him. So all we had to do was turn it, glue it up and turn it. Hey, Nix. Remember, we don't sell any diamond pens, so your wallet's safe. Unless you need to buy the blank and have somebody else turn it. Don't spoil him. Just trying to make his first time go right. You know what that's like. Okay. Remember, instead of doing the weekend giveaway beforehand, we decided that we'd just do the weekend giveaway and tonight's giveaway, all of them tomorrow. So the ones from Saturday's live and today will go up for giveaway tomorrow. Yeah, the set of instructions that I looked at today, Palm, were easier than the ones I remember from the past. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. Darren, should we turn the Muddy Go camo one, or should we turn the Ebonite first? The Ebonite wouldn't take much. I'd be really curious to see what it looks like if we just took 600 sandpaper to it and then polish. Be real curious. Yeah, if you buy 4 kits, you get a free mandrel. Hey, Carolyn. Honestly, Darren, you could probably not have to turn that at all. Just put your collet chuck on there and put one end in the collet chuck, the other end up against a center, like a flat center on the other side, and just smooth it out. Camo for Momo. turn the pink one first. Oh, okay. Turn the Muddyco camera first. It's been a pet project. I think I initially glued it up and drilled it up in January. I just haven't turned it. I haven't seen Debbie yet. I don't know if she's with us or not. Yep. The Artemis is just slightly bigger. Oh, hey, Debbie. Sorry I missed you. Darren, will the Kaweco mini converter or short converter fit in the Apollo or Artemis? Do you know? Have you ever tried? Correct, Palm. You can sell them both. By the way, it's convertible. Hi, Nicole. I have a Kaweco Sport in brass. I like a lot. I like the patina on it, and I like the finish. The Kaweco Standard or the Kaweco Mini. They make a short one too. Okay. Thanks, Darren. Nice. Good job. It's always a good time to see everyone get together and have a good time. What do we say, Steve? Let that blush up. Steve's being quiet. Did he get kibosh? Maybe Stephanie took him out. Let's let that blush up. Put your name on it, Momo. Do you want me to put the rest of these up in a drop tomorrow? We can. I have a couple left. Now you kind of get an idea what it looks like turned. Let me throw this question out there, and that'll answer a lot of things. Would there be an interest in seeing these made into the style blank, into a writing pen? We could make it an Apollo or an Artemis and have this style blank as a fountain pen, and it would look identical to this as a fountain pen. Obviously not with this shape in it. Well, I don't see why we couldn't put shape in it. Would there be any interest in seeing that? Wow. Comments went crazy. Okay. Okay. All right, Darren. You should see how it works now, right? And we need a collet chuck. What did I do with the collet chuck? There it is. This is the Penn State Industries collet chuck. Thanks, Carolyn. This is a 3/8 collet. This is a collet chuck. If you've ever done any mill work, collet chucks are used in a lot of CNC work and such. Let's do the body first, Aaron. So, Steve, this is the mandrels that come in the bullseye kit. This one's going to be for the body. We insert it into the end of our collet chuck, tighten as such. Make sure that this is tight. And this will be our body. Let's take a picture of before and after. Doesn't want to line up. I know if they're being triple start, it should catch. There we go. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Square. Yeah, how it looks before it's glued in. Sure. So let me get another one. I've got one. Let me get another roller ball. There, and I found 5 of the black stainless in the shop. I don't have any black stainless in fountain, but I do have them in roller ball. Okay, so when you get the kit, it will have a body and a cap insert. This would be a body insert, Steve. This would be a cap insert. You get the collet chuck from Penn State Industries. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this piece is the body or the cap, 2.5 inches. Gets drilled. This gets put in it. There is an air hole so that things don't get stuck in there. This is the body insert. This one is flush most of the time, or above. Most of the time I flush mount them into the body. This one I didn't. And then remember that this is triple start, so it'll fit in a couple different positions. But if you line it up correctly, the patterns all line up. You can feel the thread start somewhere every time. Just back it up one extra click, and it'll come out right. So here it is before, and we're about to turn it. Internally, Steve, when you screw the body onto the cap, that's what happens. The cap, this insert on the top is black as Delrin. It's in the top. This is in the bottom, in the body. Thanks, Linda. Does that work, Darren? Or do I need more explanation? Kind of like this piece that's ebonite. Cap is inside, body. If we take a set of calipers, you can see that this piece of ebonite, 0.5585, 0.568, 0.58, right? We only have 0.061 of the wall. Actually, not even that. I have a hold of a little bit of the cap. 0.585, yeah. 0.585 on there, so it doesn't take much. But we'll make it as well. But let's start on this piece. So this goes in our collet chuck. His favorite flavor is red. Ha! I like it. For a second, Darren, I thought something was wrong. I didn't want to slip on there. When you turn between centers, he needs a turn between center adapter for turning slim lines for the 7mm. I don't turn any slim lines. That's why I probably didn't make the recommendation. Sorry, Joe. I don't like to turn anything with a 7mm tube. It just feels too skinny to me. I don't prefer a skinnier pen like that. Some people do. Some people love it. I don't. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can put a sacrificial piece on the end so that you don't end up with a divot. Darren knows what I'm talking about. I will show you that method as well. And take just a piece of blank. Put it up next to the end. Drive the center in. Set the center tight. And use this piece as sacrificial so that your live center doesn't end up with the divot of this in it. Or you can use your mandrel saver as well. And I'll show you that. You can take your mandrel saver, since it's flush, and put it up against the end as well. Either one works. I typically use a sacrificial piece. and it will center itself out. Because I feel trying to turn that unsupported is risky. You, Darren? Any thoughts, Darren? You have a different method that works? I think trying to turn it unsupported is risky. Ah, come on, it's not that hard. Realistically, Darren, if you think about it, there's nothing saying that, hey, I think I just invented something. I just invented an idea. Let me try it before I make it out loud. I think Darren, you thinking what I'm thinking? With this being an open kit like this, there's a huge market for something I just thought of. I'll share the idea once I make it work. Yeah, totally agree, Darren. Yeah, whatever Darren doesn't buy the extra parts, I'll buy. Either one. One of us will make sure that you don't go without. I'm good with that. Any thoughts? No, I agree, Tom. Steve will be fine. Steve, I think, will do just fine. Not going to get time to turn the Ebonite one. I'm going to polish up this one and then polish up the other one. Darren, if you notice, when I turned the end, I held my hand on here and ran the tool just a little bit to help support this for that reason. I agree. The end is the worst. And if you look, our sacrificial piece came right off the end of it. Works really well that way. Thing to remember when polishing a closed end pin is that the end, the middle does not turn as fast as the rest of it. So it will take a little more sanding to get the end polished up. I'll make one probably next week, and I think it'll work. You'll have to use this kit with a modified version to make it work. But I think we can make it work. Let me make it work before I say it out loud, and it'd be a failure. Steve, gladly reach out to me, or Darren, or Palm. But you can reach out to me. I'll gladly help you make it. If you want, I'll send you a blank already drilled and ready so you can have it as a demo. And you can use it for your own demo for the next ones. It's probably a lot easier to start that way. So let me ask the question to the ladies in the group that diamond paint. What is your preferred length of diamond painting pen? Palm, I'll do that for anyone else. If Marcus or anyone else needed it, I can send you the blank already drilled, already glued if you want your pieces glued in, or you can figure out how to glue them yourself. And I'll mark it all up as to where to push them together. Four and a half to five, 5.5. Yeah. Thank you. Anita, 5.25. How many ladies in the group like the idea of a fountain pen? How many people in the group I like the idea of a fountain pen or a rollerball pen? There have to be a fountain pen in order to make the idea work. Unless I could find a really short ink cartridge for like a rollerball or Darren or Palm, do you know of a shorter ink refill than a Parker? Ironically, Nix, this is about the thickness of a Sharpie. This one's just over a ½ inch. The mini pen, which is in here, is just under a ½ inch. Okay. I don't want to get as small as the Lighthouse, but I want to get something that's easy to get, Parker or Schmidt's, easy to find somewhere. I don't want to make it difficult. I'd say we use the Parker if we're going to use a roller ball, and I try to drill the body to make it fit. This is where the demonstrator will come in handy. If we were using a fountain pen, I can definitely make it work. If you want a roller ball, it might be a little harder. The mini pen is not for sale. It took a lot of R&D to come up with that size. It worked. It wasn't easy, but it took several tries, and I like it. I carry it in my, if you're a man, we have an extra pocket in the top of our jeans. Originally, I think it was a pocket watch pocket or a watch pocket. I carry the mini pen in there to work every day, and it holds up well. Yeah, fountain pens are the ones. Thanks, Momo. I don't make this often. I don't think I've let it out a whole lot, just a couple times. I should make more of it, but I really like it with the cap on the end, the turquoise cap. You get the cap rounded up here. There's one DP pen floating around out there like this that I know of. Do you want it with the turquoise ends, or do you just want the Muddy Girl camo? How about we put 3/4 inch turquoise ends so that when you get them drilled, then they match. These were a special color turquoise. You'll see when we get it stopped there. Almost like an opal turquoise. Or turquoise opal, say that. Thank you all for joining us this evening, too. We're going to be over 9 o'clock. Do we want to see the cap get turned and get finished, or what do we want to see? Okay, Steve, we'll do it. Oh, yeah. Crap, I knew we were going to be over 9. We'll be pushing 9:30. Oh, congratulations. Thanks, Pom. Steve, with your new lathe being so smooth, you should have no issue turning those. Brand new and smooth and quiet. Should be easy. Pom, this goes on a project this week. It's a piece of weru. I found this in the stash before I go any further. Okay, let's put some wax on that end of it, and that end's finished. I just committed a cardinal sin. I opened that upside down and the piece fell out. Give me a second, please. Thank goodness there wasn't much down there. Okay, now let's put the wax on. Let's let that blush up. Remember, this was a 5 1/4, 5 1/2 inch blank. I glued the turquoise ends on so that we could make the 6 inches for the pen. If you only want a 5 1/4 inch pen, we don't have to do that. But it would have to be a fountain pen, not a roller ball. You need the 6 inches for a roller ball. I think I have to measure and make sure, but I believe so. We'll make it extra shiny. Super shiny. Okay. Doesn't want to come off, Darren. Might be wax on my hand too. There we go. It was just wax on my hand. I need to clean that up a little bit. The blank is held on by, Braden, that's a good question. I'm actually getting ready to change it, so I'll show you. So this is a collet chuck, and this is a closed-in mandrel, Braden. And it's held on by one this way. And this other piece is held in your collet chuck this way. This is specific to this kit. And now we're going to make the cap. Here's the body. Actually, it turned out pretty smooth. There in the end turned out pretty nice as well, huh? Wow. Yeah, I'll look at it in a little bit, Pom. That's a good idea. Let me go back to where that was at, and I'll screenshot and save the info, and I can check it out later. Thanks, Pom. Sure, Braden. Reach out anytime if you have any questions. You can message me, or I think Glenn has my number. All right. Now remember, now we're going to make our cap. We put that insert in the, maybe this helps. What are your thoughts, Dan? Tom, you all have used a collet chuck. So a collet chuck looks like this on the end. This piece goes in, and as you tighten this down, this is conical shaped. It's a mechanical fit. As you get it to the end, it'll get very tight. Then you use your two tools to hold it and tighten it. If you want a good idea of start to finish, blank in the turquoise, I can make that, Jen. That gives you an idea where we are start to finish. Okay, Darren, do I make the body the same or make the cap same as the body, or do I make it slightly larger? I don't know if I can make the cap that size or not. I made the body pretty skinny. Body's 0.5720. We do that in most bespoke stuff is in millimeter. So our body would be 14 millimeter. Nope, I can't make the cap that small. Well, yeah, we could. Yeah, we could. We could still make it all 14 millimeter. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now we thread our cap on. Made a weird noise, like there was air in it. Put our sacrificial piece up to it, which already has a hole. Set it. Put some tension on it. What's the cap insert? I think it's the Artemis that won't go that small. Yeah, the cap is only 11.5, so we could make the cap the same diameter. A little bigger. You like them a little bigger? Good night, Joan. Okay, here we go. 16, Darren. 16.30. To round the corners over? No, I don't. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the square tool is just to round it over from square. The round tool is to finish and make everything smooth. Not a dumb question at all by any means. Okay. Let's see what we have for consistency. Slightly bigger right there. So I need to take it down just a smidge. Okay. Forgot to turn on the vacuum. Looks pretty good. We just gotta clean up the end here. Oh, I made a mistake there. Okay. That's a good sacrificial cap. I'll keep a hold of that. Good flat and square. Yep. Old Steve, he lives in the doghouse. He set up camp there. He's not moving out. He's a lifer. You want turquoise added in the blank to these colors? Is that what you're saying? Well, hello, Guinness. Hi, Guinness. Hi, Guinness. Newfoundland came to visit us. Hi, Guinness. You want a treat, Guinness? Hmm? He knows to come to the shop and get a treat. Sit. Good boy. All right. Take the other one. Go to the house. Go to the house. Come on. Go to the house. Thank you. Go. No, I don't have any more. Don't give me that sad look. We don't have any more, Guinness. Yeah, 184-pound puppy. No, you weren't missing anybody in the chat. It's Guinness the dog. Hi, Guinness. We don't have any more. No more treats. 2 is enough. You'll be 200 pounds at this rate. Yeah, Guinness is a big baby. There's no treats, buddy. I don't have anything else for you. You just ate them. He was checking to make sure. Look at this. Doug's been absent all evening, and now he chimes in to feed the dog. All right. Sit. Let's see if I can get Guinness in the picture here. Easy. Smell. Smell. Easy. Good boy. Okay, now there's no more. No more Guinness. That's 5. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's just a big old boy, that's all. Thanks, Rosalind. He's just a monster sucker, that's all. He weighs more than my kids and my wife. Yeah, he weighs more than the kids and my wife. He looks floofy, but there's 184 pounds of mass underneath all that floof. Don King dog. See, Steve knows. Oh, yeah. Yeah, shop dog. That's what he's doing now. He came over here and sat down. He's like, after 9 o'clock, you'll be finishing up soon. One more for being a good dog, unlike Steve. That's hilarious. The only treats Guinness gets are he gets blueberries in the mornings and a couple times during the day. And then those treats that you saw, we feed the TLC company, dog food, the longevity company, comes out of Tonawanda, New York. When we bought him, the breeder recommended it, and it's the only food I could find that has never had a food recall in the last 25 years. So that's where we feed him. And the treats we get for him come from the same company that makes the dog food. I couldn't figure a better place to buy him treats than the same place we trust to feed him from. So, other than that and blueberries, he doesn't get any other treats. No, Guinness doesn't require chocolate color, unlike Steve. He is a big baby. He'll lay down in the shop for as long as you let him, even when it's hot, no fan going. He'll still lay down there. I agree with you, Palm. Dogs are loyal. People are not. I think we're good. We can switch to the next paper. I don't recommend the Newfoundland to many people. They're a lot of work and they're very needy. Oh, yeah. He's a snuggle dog. He is a snuggle dog. My wife works from home and he lays by her office desk all day long. She goes to lunch. She feels the need to try to sit on her lap. He's always a snuggle dog. That's why we sell blanks, buy treats for Guinness. Carla has Newfie, what, Newfie Lab mix, Carla? Guinness doesn't like bell peppers. He likes blueberries. He likes them a lot. And he loves bananas. So I knew I was forgetting something. He absolutely loves bananas. Loves bananas. Yes. Start out roughly 1200, 2400, and then 3600 or 3400 at the end. Thanks for joining us, Doug. Now we're at the blue, we'll go to the last one. Newfie St. Bernard mix. Yeah, that's what he is. Doug, this is your next type of pen to make. This sells well. And it's the beautiful in-between step. Instead of having to go full bespoke, if you need a smaller section of nib, you use the Apollo. If you have one with a bigger hand, use the Artemis. They both work well. I prefer the Artemis. I think the thread feels better on the Artemis. We're trying to encourage Steve to make this, but I don't think Steve's going to live that long. Won't have to worry about it. We've been wanting to update some things to put up for sale on the website. We may try to make some Artemis pins in the next week and get some of them up on the site. 970, oh wow. He keeps saying something about not being scared. Somebody that's not scared, he brings up that word a lot. Doug, I'll drill yours and have it all prepped for you as well. It's the same as I made to Steve. All you got to do is turn it. $30 more, buddy. Yeah. Hey, Stephanie got in there. Let's let that blush up. Ha. Good job, Stephanie. You get a prize. The prize is another day sentence with Steve. You're welcome. We'll wax the crap out of it. Make it super shiny. We'll let the last coat blush up, Stephanie. Ha! Let's let that blush up. Good job, Stephanie. You beat him to it. Good freaking job. Man, we got enough wax on there. That's really shiny. Holy cow. Sorry we only made 2 pins, everyone, but we saw how to dye the other one as well. Now that's shiny. Holy Toledo. Or as I say all the time, holy cannoli. Let's find the body and some parts. We'll put the spring down in there. Put a refill down in there. Okay, so our spring is inside. Put our refill in. Put our body on. Screw it together. And not quite lined up. Let's try it a different way. Yeah, that's like, nope. Like a bespoke, but it is, you don't have to buy the extra tooling for it. What do you think, Darren? Did we do all right? Is that okay? Yeah. What time is it? We got a few minutes. We can show the boxes. Actually, I have a few diamond pins we can show with them. How's that? That way we have an idea of what fits, how it fits, etc. Man, I really like that. It turned out all right. Turquoise ends. Hmm. It turned out better than I expected, Darren. Okay, so we have a couple of boxes that are great for holding your diamond painting tips and such. Give me 1 second and I'll get the rest of them. But we have some in black and pink. We can do custom colors as well, but I'll show you what we have on hand this evening. And I'll get some measurements. Give me 1 second. Okay. You still with us? These are 9.5 by 5 by 4 3/4. They open up like so. Just knocked crap over. They're great for your diamond painting accessories. They would hold tips and different things, and they would also hold a pin on either box all the way down, so you could put 6 of your favorite pens and extra accessories. You could put release papers in there. Let me show you the colors we have. Momo says the colors are good. So we have pink and black. We have pink and white, blue and white. Nix, I think I have one up your alley for color, but I think you do your own 3D printing. So I have one in lime, we have one in lime green and black. And for somebody like Steve, or any masculine, I should say, not just Steve, we have one in olive green and coyote tan. Or Ashley likes the green. Yeah, sorry about that. Yes. So if you want one, let Momo know, and I will reach out to you afterwards. Momo will take your name down here. And if you want a different color pattern, just let us know. It looks like an old Stanley lunchbox, yes. Red, gray, black, and a little white, huh, Marcus? You can print this yourself. You have a printer. Do I have black and purple? No, but I can do black and purple. Yeah, that's easy. Okay, you all. Thank you so much for this evening. Momo will put you down for that. If you don't get something before we close the live, just message me. I'll get you hooked up with something. This was the diamond pen we made this evening. It can go in the box. And then this would be the writing pen. Darren was saying that we can, sorry about that. Darren was saying you can change this to a fountain pen because it is an Artemis or an Apollo. I will show you that. We can take our nib section out of the mini pen, and this would use a standard converter if you wanted to. And now it would be a fountain pen. No gold for that freaking pen. She doesn't even sell gold. That's what I like, Steve. No freaking gold. She doesn't even sell gold. Yeah, you can use wood. You can use ebonite. No, they don't make that in gold, Steve. I was thinking of selling this, but it might just stay a personal pen. Turned out really well. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for sticking it out over past 9 o'clock. We appreciate it. Thanks and have a great evening. Whose pen is that? It's my pen for now, Ashley. Thank you all so much. Sell it as a fundraiser for doggo treats. There we go. We'll put it up for auction. Whatever the auction goes, we will buy exactly that amount of dog treats. I think we can get I think we buy a 35 or 25 pound box of them now when we buy them. Thank Momo. Momo does all the hard work. I just get to talk and make shiny stuff. And I like this. Sorry, I don't mean to brag. But thank you all very, very much. Thanks again. Have a great evening. Hey, thanks, Braden. If you have any issues, let me know. If you want any help trying to make this style, let me know. Hey, thanks, Nick. I'll reach out to you, Nick. This is what we made this evening. Hey, thanks, Darren. It means a lot coming from you. Momo is the one that's the champion in all this. I just make shiny stuff. That's all.